On Thursday, April the 16th, I asked you guys to complete this problem on David's new metal lockbox. And it said the dimensions of his new lockbox in inches are shown below: the length, the width, and the height. Now, we just learned about length, width, and height, and they are one-dimensional units. So the length would be 10 inches, the width would be 8 inches, the height would be 13 inches. Now, the length, the width, and the height of his old lockbox are half the length, the width, and the height of the new one. Each box is a right rectangular prism. Now, we've learned about these three-dimensional objects that they take up space. We can also put things inside this lockbox. It has a capacity. So to the nearest whole number, the volume of the new lockbox is how many times the volume of the old lockbox? So I ask you guys to explain your answer. So these are just some examples of answers that I got. I divided all of them by 2 and got 6.5, 5, and 4. Then I multiplied them together and got 130. Then I multiplied 130 by 8. You get 1,040, and that is what you're trying to get to. That's great. The numbers look good. However, I do not know what 6.5 is. I don't know what 5 is, 4 is. If I read this out of context, I have no clue what those numbers mean. There are no units provided, and units are important. We have to pay attention to precision. 6.5 what? Dollars? Feet? Inches? Miles? I don't know. All right, so here is another example of something that I got. Units were included. So new, 13 by 10 by 8. Well, there are no units for 13. 13 what? 10 what? 8 what? I think if you guys would start including your units here on 13 inches, 10 inches, 8 inches, then your overall volume wouldn't be hard to come by. A volume does not have units of inches. Volume is three-dimensional. Okay, we just learned about volume being cubic units. So these units are not correct. Volume is not linear. It is not one-dimensional. All right, let's look at another example. My answer is Z. I have no problem with that. However, the units are not correct. 13 times 10 times 8 is 1,040 square inches. Well, square inches is the amount of space a flat surface occupies. This lockbox is three-dimensional, so shouldn't our units be cubic units? So let's just go over this real quick. Let me show you what I would like for you to have, because we should be attending to precision. So volume of old block box. This is a right rectangular prism, so we know our volume equals length times width times height. So our volume equals, now here's what I did not see maybe but one or two people put on Thursday. 13 what, 10 what, 8 what. Okay, so this is his new lockbox. Okay, let me change this. So the length, it's not 10, it's 10 inches. The width, it's not 8, it's 8 inches. And the height is not 13, it's 13 inches. I need you to be this precise. So now when you multiply 10 inches times 8 inches times 13 inches, you get a volume of 1,040 cubic inches, because inches, let me just show you here. I'm going to underline it. Inches times inches times inches are cubic inches. So you could write cubic inches, or let me show you where to find inches to the third in your computer. So volume equals 1,040 inches. If you come up here to insert special characters, and you wouldn't know this unless someone told you. If you type superscript, you'll see to the third power right here. Okay. Press it and it should show up. All right, so now let's find the volume of the old lockbox. Again, most of you did a very good job. I was very, very happy. However, we do need to pay attention to detail. We do need to include our units. Just that extra step in communicating correctly. All right, so volume equals, whoops, I don't want to underline all that. Half of 10 inches is 5 inches. By half of 8 inches is 4 inches. And half of 13 is 6.5 inches. Right, when we multiply 5 times 4 times 6.5, it is equal to 130 cubic inches. You want to write it inches to the third power? Let's do that as well. Okay, come up here, insert, special characters, type it in superscript. To third power. Okay, there we go. I just want to show you one other thing. Let's come here. Actually, before I do that, so now how many times bigger? It just asks for how many times bigger. So 1,040 inches cubed divided by, so let's divide it by, so we can underline. We've learned that we can use underline to represent division. 130 inches I should have cut and pasted, but I didn't. Now here's another problem that I saw. When you divide those two, inches cubed divided by inches cubed is equal to 1. So the answer is not 8 inches cubed. The answer is it's just 8 times the volume. So this 8 does not have units. This 8 is just 8 times bigger. And then one other thing before I'm going to let you picture units from Tuesday, April the 16th. Volume equals, do you agree that 10 inches, we doubled our size? So 10 inches would be 5 inches times 2. Do you agree? And then the width would be 4 inches, the original dimensions times 2. And do you agree that the height would be the original dimensions times 6.5? So really, you didn't even have to even do all this math. If you just knew this part right here, that it's the length was doubled and the width was doubled and the height was doubled, 2 times 2 times 2 gives you a volume of the original 130 cubic inches times 8. And where did 8 come from? Because 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 8. So the original volume, 130 cubic inches, times 8 is equal to the volume of the new lockbox. Now I want you to go back to April the 16th, and I want you to include units on every single number. We are going to be very precise. That's what I'm looking for.